Welcome to another episode of Conversations about Priesthood. Today's conversation will be with Folli, and as always, really looking forward to this conversation, but also really looking forward to going out to the beach later today. It's really hot today, so yeah, whatever. We're not here to talk about the beach today. Hello, Folli.
Hello, Vanessa. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm good. Are you enjoying the sun?
Yeah, I wish I can say I'll go straight to the beach after, but the beach is too far away from me, so I can't do that. But it's good to have a bit of sunshine.
Wonderful. Would you like to just briefly introduce yourself and maybe talk a bit about the context that you're in as well?
My name is Folli Olokose. I'm at St. Mary's Church in Oatlands, which is in Guildford, Diocese. It's a kind of semi-rural, semi-urban. It's a village, which some people would say is not a village, but it's a good place to be. It's one of the most affluent parts of the country, really. So in terms of that, it's quite good. But also, who says affluence means there are other hidden forms of poverty in our community as well. So it's not all rosy.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time out to have this conversation with me. I know you are a busy individual, so thank you so much.
Pleasure.
What would you say is your understanding of the priesthood?
I think priesthood is contextual. The place and the way you practice your ministry depend on the context on which you are practicing. And in my own understanding and experience, whatever the context, whatever the place might be, there are two things about it that I sort of hold on to. And each one start with the letter P. The first one is about being present, being a presence. And the other one is being a present. So being a presence means being incarnation, and I'm sure a lot of my colleagues will talk about that. It's about walking along with people, being present in their lives. One of the good things and the challenges of the Church of England is we have to be present for everyone that is in our parish, living, working, and visiting. So we walk along with the local school, we walk along with those who are in hospital, we bury them, we marry them, and we baptize them. And so that is about being incarnation and being present, being the presence of God in their lives and in our community, sort of being that focal point that draws others to God. So I would say it's kind of being like a beacon of light that reflects God to them, and so in that way we are being incarnational. But also I see myself as a present, as a gift of God to my community. So I am sent here to be a gift of God, and who says gift means total giving of oneself to that community. But also it's I'm a gift to my local church. I'm a gift of the Church of England to this parish at this time. Because one of the things about the Church of England is my parish are not the one paying directly my stipend. So I am a gift to them from the wider church, and not just the Church of England. I see myself as a gift of my country to the Church of England, but also to the universal body of Christ. So it's about being a present, but also being present in so that's the way I see my role as a priest.
I really love that. I love when you talk about being present, so being with people, and then the whole aspect of bringing something of God's love, God's presence into the communities that you serve. I really love that. And that kind of links in well with the question of what would you say from your experience have been some of the joys and challenges of this ministry, of priestly ministry?
I'll go with the challenges first, so that then I can go with the joys.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, the challenges, of course, as a priest in the Church of England, is that the Church of England has this very bad tendency of washing our dirty linen in public. And so what that means is that everybody hears about what is wrong with the church, not what the church is doing well. And the other challenge is that bad news spread faster than good news. So if anything is wrong with a local church or with a local Christian, it goes far, like wildfire, it spreads. I do wonder, Jesus died and resurrected almost 2,000 years ago, and we are still trying to spread the good news. But if something bad happens now, in the next 10 seconds, it will be heard in far-flung places, and people will believe it as the truth. So those are parts of the challenges. But also, as the parish priest, I have to open our doors, the doors of this church, to everyone. And when I say everyone, you think have things like the qualifying connection that allows people to get married in church, that says you must bury them when they die, that says you must baptize them when they wish that to be the case. So that those are some of the challenges, but also those are the joys as well. There are two sides of the same coin, because some of these are opportunities. They are missional opportunities to meet people, to be present in their life, but also to reflect God's glory and God's acceptance to them. And I said, the Church of England is like any family. We agree to disagree and we disagree to agree, but we still remain brothers and sisters in Christ. And that comes, of course, with his joys and challenges as well. But personally for me, because I wasn't born an Anglican. I went to Catholic schools. I attended Methodist schools. My parents were Methodists. I was born and bred in Nigeria, so I've seen the breadth of Christianity bigger than the Church of England, really. So I find myself at home in almost any church tradition. And so that's the joy as well of saying church has been bigger than my local part of it. So it's quite good in that way. But on day-to-day ministry, there are joys, there are challenges as well. We can't sweep them under the carpet. I've seen people that said to me, I don't want you to take this funeral because you are Black.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And they won't say it as clear as that, but they will ask you if there's another priest in your parish that can take the funeral. So it is what it is. That's a reflection of the society we live in. But in such situation, my role is still to show them the love of God. One of the things that my training incumbent always said to me is that, Folli, just be careful who you quarrel with in your parish, because their mom might die tomorrow and they'll call you to bury them. And so you still have to have that incarnational relationship with them. And growing up, my dad would always say to me that God has a very good sense of humor. If you quarrel with somebody at school and you don't agree with it, when you get to heaven, God will put you in the same room. And so I grew up with that understanding that life is full of ups and downs, the good, the bad, and the ugly, as they say. But I won't exchange this role or this job for anything else. I won't.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And you've already, spoken so deeply. You've said some really powerful stuff there as well. So thank you so much. And really, final question, do you have any sort of words of advice, wisdom or encouragement for individuals who are discerning a vocation to the priesthood?
I think there are two things. The first one is, when God calls, he would equip. When God is calling you to a task or to a job, whatever it is, he's going to make a way for it to happen. One of my regrets in life is I should have answered that call earlier than now. I was told to explore the nation when I was in Form 1, year 7, and I said, and I should have done that. So I'm in a good place now. So and the second thing is that no matter how much you deny it, when you are being called, it becomes persistent, and you will just have to answer it. Until you answer that call, you won't find fulfillment. So if God is calling you now, just take a step of faith and do it. We don't need to dilly-dally. And the good thing about the Church of England is with the exploration and the discernment process, you are not walking that journey alone. There are people around you, just like this video is helping you to reflect. There will be others walking along with you in your dioceses as well.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good note to end on.
Yeah.
We're not going through this alone.
No.
I think that's really encouraging, the sort of, you know, you're doing it with others, and also sharing, some of the learnings and reflections that we're, that we're sort of picking up and noticing through the process.
Yeah.
So Folli, thank you so much for this conversation.
Pleasure.
Thank you. And I really hope and pray that you have the opportunity to enjoy the sun.
Yeah, not too much. I always joke that I'm topping up my tan, but I've got enough.
Well, anyways, thank you so much.
Take care, Vanessa.
Yes. And so until next time, bye.
Yeah, bye.